So I'm opening up the um, Eichenberg project that we all saved to our individual folders under Chief Training. Let me back up. If we go into the SharePoint Design Team Templates Chief Training, and each of us has a folder in here with our name on it. With I have Eichenberg in here. I think, yeah, you all have Eichenberg in there. I open this up and you can see it's got a lot of information. I double click on the template and it's showing an 1/8 inch scale dimensions. I don't know that I need 1/8 inch scale. The smaller the scale is that goes to the layout page, the bigger the text has to be, and that means the less text and dimensions you can get in there and still be legible. So if I make it a bigger scale, like 1/2 inch scale, my text and dimensions are smaller, so I can get more text and dimensions in there and still be legible. Then I'm going to go to File, Templates, New Layout from Template, and I'm going to surf over to the Design Team Templates folder again. NDB Layout 11x17 is the one I want to do at this point, and I'll click Open, and that's going to open up this blank file, layout file. I'll switch back to my model, and just for giggles I'm going to try and see if I can fit this kitchen into the 11x17 at 1/2 inch scale. So I'm going to send to layout. Let's save this. I'm going to save this file, this layout file, back to my specific folder for Design Team Templates, Chief Training under Tim. There, I've got it saved. Now, send to layout. I've got the appropriate layout selected. Page 2. I'm going to select, instead of the I'm going to show the layout page. I'm going to do that because when I send it, I want it to switch over to the layout file and I want to see it. I'm going to send just the current screen, not the whole floor plan. I'm going to go ahead and link the saved plan view, and I'm going to send it at 1/2 inch equals 1 foot. Always check this, use layout line scaling. Now I'm going to resize this window, scoot it over, and it doesn't quite fit all the way. Wall to wall doesn't fit on the template. So I'm going, with the layout window selected here, I'm going to use the child tool down here, rescale layout view. So instead of 1/2, I'm going to use 1/4 inch scale. And here you can see the difference as to why I could get a lot more text if I were to use 1/2 inch scale. You could do like Kaylin did on one project, go back up to 1/2 inch scale and only do a portion of the kitchen plan here. I'm going to move these out of the way, and when I'm in the select intersected objects mode on the right, and I select these 3 objects, it's going to also pick up the layout window. And on the lower left hand of my screen you see 4 objects currently selected. So I've selected this marker, I've selected the existing demo plan text, I've selected the scale text, and the layout window. So with those 4 objects selected, I'm going to hit Control, or Kalen, it's the Command key, and click on the layout window, and that unselects the object one at a time. So I unselected the layout window. Now I just have those 3 objects selected, and I can move those 3 objects out of the way. I could have also just selected this and moved this object out of the way as well. Now I'm going to just move these here, select this window, and I'm going to Control C and back to up to page 3. I'm going to edit, paste, hold position. So these 2 pages are the exact same with this layout window, but what I want to do now is reveal the rest of the kitchen and hide the original part of the kitchen. Now when I go back to my model, I'm going to switch from working plan view to CD2, CD plan 2, which is 1/2 inch scale, set up for 1/2 inch scale. When I change that in my model though, it does not change in the layout yet. Okay, so now I'm going to select this layout and open the layout window itself. I cannot double click on this layout window or it will open the model in that working plan view. So that's not what I want. I want to open it using this door down here in the child tools. And I'm going to switch this to CD plan 2, the linked saved plan view. I'm going to switch that. Now I've got that 1/2 inch scale in the layout window. That's 1/2 inch scale, yes. I'm going to open this and switch to CD plan 2. Now whatever I put in CD plan 2 here will show up in the layout page as well. Let's just double click on the dimension tool to get our dimension defaults and click on locate objects and just see where things are going. It's going to dimension on the walls to the surfaces, which means it will dimension to the drywall, not the studs. It will dimension on the wall, both sides of the wall, not just the primary side or interior wall centers, where it's going to do both wall sides. It is not going to select cabinets, which it should by default, and I think I've changed the template now, or any new plans going forward will select cabinets. So in this plan I want to show the cabinets, so I'm going to do cabinet sides and corners. I'm not going to dimension to cabinet centers. I'm not going to dimension to moldings or countertops or backsplashes or toe kicks at this point. I'm not going to dimension to fixtures and appliances. I could dimension to centers if I wanted. Again, this is just the defaults. So the first pass, what is the tool going to dimension to? You can manually edit any dimension and go to any of these points, whether it's selected or not. Openings to the centers or to the casing. We'll go to casing for this one, just because. Let me point out at this point, the crew does not want to see if you're locating an opening, they don't want to see a dimension to casing. They want to see it either to the side or to the center. Preferably center is what I give them. And then they can figure out what that rough opening is supposed to be, whether that's to a door or a window. So I'm just going to show sides on this one. CAD objects, whether you've drawn a line or circle or polyline, we're not going to dimension to framing or electrical at this point, first time around. Back up to setup. Remember reach we talked about a couple weeks ago. That's important. if I draw this dimension line down the middle of this aisle, it's not going to dimension to anything, because down the middle of this aisle is 2 feet. There's 4 feet between the island and this line of cabinets here. So if I dimension down the middle of this, it's not going to dimension anything, because my reach, turn this off. My reach here in the defaults is only 12 inches. If I were to change that to 36, I'm going to exaggerate and dimension down the middle of this aisle, I'll be 2 feet away from the island and 2 feet away from this line of cabinets. So it's going to dimension to both sides, both cabinets, top and bottom. So maybe I don't want to have such a large reach. Maybe I'll go 15 inches and just drag my dimension line through here. And now I'm just dimensioning to the island. And now I'm just dimensioning to this line of cabinets down here. So that's the manual dimension. If I want to show the overall size of the island, I could drag out here, but again, remember my reach is only 15 inches. So I might have to drag it through here. And if I do that, it actually undoes the dimensions previously given. So I might just move this line up and drag out here. So end to end is picking up a point. Do I want to measure from the left end to this cabinet, or this cabinet, or all the way out here to this cabinet, or that leg? If I need to, I can always add, again, those dimension points, whether I need to go to the center of this island, of this cabinet box, or not. Maybe I need to delete that. So I'm going to drag this diamond away out in the middle of nothing, and that deletes that line, that dimension line, measurement line. Let's see here. We'll do a quick dimension too. Now sometimes you get this situation going on and there's a 0 dimension, and I don't know why that comes up so often. So I'm going to take this diamond here. This means that there's 2 measurement lines, extension lines if you will, right in the same spot, because they're 0 inches apart. So I'm going to take this diamond and drag it away, and that got rid of one of the extension lines, so I no longer have the 0 dimension. Now I'll drag. I want to measure to the center of this sink, but I can't for some reason. Maybe if I start dimensioning here, it still won't let me. Let's double click on this and locate objects. Oh, fixtures and appliances wasn't checked. So we'll go back to the end-to-end dimension. From here to the center of the sink is that. Then that actually looks like going, no, it's going to the center of the sink. Okay, I'm not sure why it's 6'3" 3/16. Let's say I did not have the fixtures and appliances on, so it wouldn't pick up the center. There's actually a small gap in there. That's what it is. I'm going to bump these all over to the left to make sure there's no gap there. Try to. End-to-end dimension. From here, I'm going to go to the cabinet. Whoops. Undo. Here to the cabinet. And then I'll just drag this extension line, take the diamond, and pull it to the center of the sink. And there I have my center. If I want to show the center line, I'll again click on the extension line and tell it that's a center line. And maybe that actually needs to go all the way to the drywall here so that rough in, they know where that sink is. There's a dimension for the island again. Going to move that to the other side of the leg, and maybe we want to show how far away this is to the cabinets and how far away this is to the cabinets. So I'm going to drag this dimension, or this diamond, down to the cabinets. There we know where that is. Cabinet to cabinet, cabinet to cabinet. Now I can do the same thing. There's that. There's that. I'm going to draw on the back side of the wall cabinets to show that dimension. Let's not do that. There we go. Clean that up. There. There. I'm going to have to look closer and see what this is picking up, why it's showing 1/16. Ah, it's picking up the molding? Okay. I thought we had turned moldings off. Oh, we're showing CAD objects. We'll turn off the CAD objects. That's what it's picking up. That's a molding CAD object. That's why it's dimensioning to that. All right, so I'm just going to click on the dimension line and drag this diamond over here so they're 9 feet apart. And I'll keep going. Now I could, instead of 1 by 1, I could drag this circular handle and just keep dimensioning to cabinets. And that'll keep on going that way. I don't know what this is. Oh, again, that's a molding. Polyline, I thought we turned moldings off. We'll just remove it. We don't need them. Need it to be there. Okay. Okie dokie, okie dokie, okie dokie. That's a molding. Move that out to the cabinet. We're just adjusting little things here, bit by bit. something's not quite adding up, and I'm not sure what it is right now, but so there's that. You have the same thing you can do in the elevations. I'm going to switch to NKBA elevations and just drag a line from here across there, like so. These seem to be extra large. I don't know why we got NKB elevation dimension defaults quarter. I thought this was going to be 8, nope, half-inch scale, half-inch scale. There we go. NKBA elevations. There we go. NKBA dimension defaults. Dimensions. Half-inch scale. There we go. Oh my goodness. Kitchen and bath elevation layer set. This is definitely an older one. Locate objects, cabinets, there we go. Casing. We'll do the NKBA auto elevations, auto dimensions. And there's that. You can send this to layout at half-inch scale. That one's going to have to go to page 4. Plot lines. I'm going to do entire plan view of this, entire view of this one. Plot lines, half-inch scale. And this one's definitely going to be too large for the sheet. So you can do this. Copy, Control V to paste, and just reveal the other half of it. Make a note, you know, this goes to page 4, page 5, etc. Let's go back to page 2 and 3, and you now see this half of the kitchen and that part of the kitchen. Now if I come back to my model and I switch to electrical, now you can put electrical notes on here. I can send this, let's say I go back to my layout file. I'm going to close my elevation, and I do not need to update that. In my layout file, I'm going to go to the next blank page, which is page 6. And for my electrical plans, maybe I can just send this at 1/4 inch scale. I don't need to send that at half-inch scale. Current screen. And there we have the electrical plan. Copy over the block. I'm going to select it and Command C, Command V, give this my E1 or E pound. There you have that. Change the title on this. You do have to, so this is half-inch scale, so you got to change this text to be half-inch. This is a pound, kitchen elevation 2. I do Roman numerals. I don't know why I did 2 there. So kitchen elevation I. 8-pound kitchen plan 2. Kitchen plan 1 I. Of course, you got to change the title block here as well. Shrink this up. It doesn't need to be that long. Move this over. Sometimes it gets stuck. I don't understand this. So you hold the Control key, and it can go anywhere, any direction. Like it's bumping against something, and Control releases that bumping feature. We almost have a full set there. Well, you know, got to add tile notes and light rail notes and under cabinet notes and dish, faucet, etc. Apron, front sink, all that good stuff. But that is that. I hope this has been helpful. Let me know if you've got questions. Bye-bye.